Hi, friends. So today I have two things in my head, and I can't tell which one is going to come out that I want to share with you. So I'll just start talking. The first one is I have written a lot of songs, and most of the songs were written in a way before I was ready for them. And I'll try to flesh it out a little bit more than that, but I'll give you an example. I wrote a song about the 5 stages of grief, and I made a music video for it called The Innocent Will Die. As I was finishing editing the video for this song, which was probably a year after I wrote the song, that's when our daughter Olivia was born. And our grief journey really began. Why did I write the song before and not after? I wrote songs about rest before I really even understood how badly I needed to learn to rest. I wrote songs about love, marriage, self-acceptance, identity, so many things before I was really ready in my life to look at those things. And that tells me two things. One, that maybe is a little more specific to artists, maybe not, maybe just to humans. And the other that I think is very general. The first thing, specific to artists, but maybe to humans, is there's more than just our conscious mind at work in us. And maybe to some of you that's easy to accept. It's common knowledge to you. And maybe to some of you that feels like craziness, or even like evil, or I don't know. But I think that, at least in my own experience, that has definitely been the reality. And I think that the older that I get, the more I'm learning how valuable and how powerful, many times how accurate that voice is. And there have been whole months and even seasons where I've been working out of my conscious mind, trying to accomplish something or whatever. And at some point, I've gotten so exhausted that I've had to sit down. And as I've sat, and there begins to be a little sense of stillness, I've heard a less front of mind voice, something deeper down, that says something that I've been missing. And when I've listened to that voice, huge things, huge wonderful things, important things have come. Many times the same exact things that I was trying to accomplish for days or months or seasons with my trying, my conscious trying. And so I'm just feeling today and wanting to share with you the value of listening to the deeper voice. And I also want to acknowledge, along with that, the challenge, the difficulty of listening to that voice because of what that voice requires of us. If you're in a crowded street or you're in a loud room and you have a small child who's trying to get your attention, that small child has a really hard time overcoming the noise. And I want to suggest to you, and I'm suggesting this to myself right now, that there is a small child in the midst of all of the voices and the noises who's trying to get your attention, and maybe has been for days or months or seasons, maybe decades. And the only way to hear the child is to quiet the noise. There's different ways to quiet noise. You could go somewhere remote, or you could create space within the noise of silence and stillness. However you find it, as soon as you start to look for that space, that quiet and that stillness, it begins to come. Because the noise is coming from you. The noise is coming from me. It's not the noise of the world. It's our reaction to the world around us that creates the noise. It's the voices inside. It's the never-ending chatter in our brain, our thoughts, that need to be silenced in order to listen to our spirit, in order to listen to the still small voice, and in order to hear the child. Ultimately, those deeper voices, the voice of the child, the voice of our spirit, the voice of God, those voices are the most important voices out of all of the noise. And yet, they're the hardest to hear. And I want to acknowledge for myself that the reason all of the other noises exist is probably mostly due to fear. So I'm adding an element or a layer to this reflection that points to the importance and the necessity of courage. And I also want to point to the consequences. As I said before, I've wasted, maybe not totally wasted, but I'm just going to go extreme and say I've wasted a lot of time. I was going to say years and decades, but it's not black and white. But I have wasted a lot of time and a lot of energy chasing the whims of all of the noise, all of the conscious, not even conscious, but the surface thought, the chatter. When what I really needed to do, the only way forward for me, was to hear the deeper voices, which require stillness, which requires courage. And I was too afraid. Maybe you can relate to that. I guess I went with the first thing in my mind. I'll do the second one next time, I think. I think for the next 30 seconds, what I'd like to do is, instead of talking about stillness, I'd like to help myself and maybe you to have it. So, this isn't something we normally do while staring at our phone or our computer, watching YouTube. But I'm going to invite you to keep this video rolling for the next 30 seconds. And maybe your eyes won't stay on the video. Maybe your senses will... actually, I'm going to invite you to let your senses spread out to outside of the screen, but keep it rolling. So this video is actually creating the space for us to take in everything but this video, which I think is possibly exactly what we need right now. So 30 seconds to be still and to just receive only what is. And as you do this, your thoughts are going to really rise up. And I'm going to give you a tool here that I use all the time. It's not complicated. I don't even know if you can call it a tool, but a method, which is let the thoughts be there, but for now, put them on pause, attention-wise. 30 seconds to take in everything which is, not including our thoughts. Starting now. Every time a thought comes, just let it flow through instead of letting it stick. This music is providing more space. Don't let your thoughts about this music start to take up the space. Just let the music be more space to be where you are. To listen to the deeper voices, to allow stillness and emptiness to remain. How are you? I'm okay. I'm okay. How about you? I'm the same. I'm the same. But if you only knew, then you'd say it's not a marathon. You don't have to be strong. It's okay to fall apart. You can only be where you are. You don't have to control. The waves will come and they will go. It's not a marathon. It's not a marathon. How are you? I'm okay. I'm okay. How about you? I'm the same, I'm the same. But if you only knew, then you'd say it's not a marathon. You don't have to be strong. It's okay to fall apart. You can only be where you are. You don't have to control. The waves will come and they will go. It's not a marathon. It's not a marathon. Thank you for sharing this moment with me, and if you watched this far, thank you for sharing a really meaningful moment with me. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about your experience of this. I'm genuinely not trying to boost engagement metrics, blah. I want to hear your experience. And so you can share it in the comments, but you can also just email me. And truly, if this is meaningful to you and you want to share it, please share it with others as well. Thank you.